are entering E&C's Pod of Awesomeness.
So here we are, Birdman.
Yeah.
We're back from England. We're back from London. You're back from, being James Bond and renting your Jaguar and shopping around and putting your cute little selfies in velveteen jackets while you're shopping in high-end boutiques.
Yeah, that was a pretty sick jacket.
Yeah, with your bespoke tailors.
Yeah.
You're doing all of that stuff.
Just show up in your ripped jeans and your Jordans.
And my leather jacket. Damn right I do. With my hair in a man bun. That's it.
Yeah. No, I had to live the life, in London, driving Jags, wearing nice.
Did they say live in Vida Loca there?
No, I don't think. Well, I mean, I'm sure that they're aware of the phrase, but I don't know if they use it regularly.
You don't think? No?
No. So.
All right.
But no, I had a good time in London. Spent the entire week there. I always enjoy going there. We have a lot of friends that live in London, so we got to see everybody. It was an adult trip, so it was fun.
An adult trip.
Yeah,
that could be taken a lot of different ways.
Well, I mean, because my daughter stayed with my mother-in-law, so
okay. I just wanted to clear that up for those not in the know. We can't just assume everyone knows, Bird.
We're doing the adulting, I think is what the kids are calling it these days.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
I don't think that's what they call it. Yeah. I'm gonna guess that's what they don't call it. They don't call it that.
I think they do. Matt, do you know anything about adulting?
Would that be what adults call it?
I've heard people refer to it as adulting. Yeah,
okay.
I don't like to do it. I mean, it's a little young for even me, but it's out there.
I don't like this adulting. It's like Netflix and chill, WWE Network and lounge.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
That was bad. That was a dad joke.
Yeah, but we had a pretty successful weekend, I would say, at the London Filming Comic-Con. It was a good time.
Yeah.
A lot of Edgeheads and Peeps and E&C fans. We did some 5-second posing. We signed some autographs. We met a lot of people. It was cool. I had a good time. Always, the UK fans are pretty passionate about the wrestling product, so they always come out and support and see you and say hello, and they're very friendly and very polite, which I appreciate.
They are, and it's nice because you can actually have a good conversation with everyone.
Yeah,
I never rush through. Sometimes at WrestleMania and the Access, it gets insane, and I still try to make eye contact with someone when they come up, but it becomes difficult sometimes. Where with this, you're there all day. You have there's lineups and everything, but I still make a point to try and have a conversation with everyone. And I will say that the most asked question, Bird, which we could answer right now, favorite opponent, favorite match, and do you miss being in there? Those were my 3 most asked questions.
Yeah. I would say that, and I always get a lot of you deserved a longer title run, your first one. I get that a lot. That's a big one. So I appreciate the people
which isn't a question. That's just a statement.
Yeah, it's not really a question. But what else was cool there? We were doing the photo sessions. They take you to a specific photo area where they actually have like a studio set up where you can get a professional picture taken, and they have people come in and they can actually pose with you however they want. We got a lot of funny requests for different poses and things like that. And we're standing there taking the picture and looked over, and Will Wheaton was standing there. Will Wheaton from Star Trek.
I like to call him Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton from
Wheaton.
From currently of Big Bang Theory, and of course, classic movie Stand By Me, which was when I was a kid. That was like my favorite movie. I watched it all the time. So I look over and I thought he was coming in there after us, and he was standing there with his people, and somebody came up to us and said, he's a big fan. He wants to take a picture with you guys, and we're like, oh wow, cool. So and I shook his hand and said, man, I'm a really big fan. He's like, really? Almost like he was surprised that I was. And then we took a 5-second pose with him, and then ended up having a long conversation with him up in the green room area. And he's a huge hockey fan, so we talked about hockey for a long time.
He's a Kings fan.
He's a big Kings fan. He even played a little bit, which is cool. And it's just nice when you meet people like that. And he was a really, really nice guy, really cool. And it's funny, they don't, like I said, Stand By Me was like my I loved that movie when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it was funny. This one time we were watching it, and my brother's friend was staying over at our house, and we used to have this train track that ran down the side of the other side of the road, and we watched it, and we were like, hey, maybe we should just like, get some food and some clothes and stuff, throw some bags over our shoulder, and just let's go walk down the train track, see if we can find a dead body. And
how many kids did that? Because I did the same thing.
Yeah. So we jumped on the train tracks, walked, I would say maybe a mile and a half, 2 miles, and the whole plan was to find somewhere to sleep overnight, get in all these adventures like they did in Stand By Me, and find a dead body. Like it was going to be, just that. And so we got about a mile and a half. We saw some horses in a field. We stopped, we pet the horses and things like that. Didn't find a junkyard. Couldn't climb over and get chased by Chopper, which was the dog. And the code word was Chopper Sick Balls. And then Chopper would attack whoever was trespassing. But it's funny, I actually told him that story, and he laughed, and then he was like, man, think about how dangerous that is for kids, like, to think about, like, giving them the idea to go on those types of adventures and stuff like that. But it was it's just it was cool to talk to him and tell him that, and then, like, to have, because I'm sure that effect happened to a lot of kids that wanted a treehouse like they had, or like that kind of crew where they went out and found these adventures and all that stuff. Like that's
when you're
a kind
a kid,
of a coming of age in
a
a sense, right?
You want to be in a gang when you're a kid.
Yeah.
And that's part of why wrestling relates, because, tag teams or the Four Horsemen or whatever it is. That's why Outsiders with the Greasers and the Socias. That's why, like, remember in Orangeville, there was DePesto Posse and Damage Incorporated. So there's two gangs in our hometown, and one is the Funkers. Yeah. And they drove their IROC Zs or Zs, depending on where you're listening.
Dressed in the baggy dress pants and shaker sweaters and suede jackets.
And bouncing that bass. And then you had Damage Incorporated, and they were the headbangers. And they had the jean jackets, and they were listening to Metallica, and hence the name Damage Incorporated. Yeah.
Huh.
Yep. See?
We weren't cool enough to be in a gang.
Every kid just wants to be in a gang. We had our own gang, man. We didn't need them.
No, we did.
We didn't need them.
We were a one-man gang.
Whoa. Well,
no, okay.
There was more than one of us.
Yeah. I was like, okay, forget it.
A good shout out to One Man Gang. Akeem.
Yeah.
So back to the question front, yo. What do you answer when you get asked? Let's say, okay, let's start with your favorite match.
My favorite match. Don't we have this coming up in the Q&A later on? Should we? I think that's one of the questions in there.
Is it?
Yeah, we don't want to ruin it and spoil it for our listeners.
Okay.
But
damn it. What is up with my memory?
I don't know.
That just happened a few days ago.
I don't think it's that you can't remember. I just think you're stupid.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You know what that really makes me want to do?
What?
That makes me want to get a jar of pickles.
And
it makes me want to smash it over your face. And then I want to take some battery acid and I want to crack the battery open over your face. And then I want to get some gasoline, some unleaded, because it's much more toxic. And I want to pour that all over you. And then I want to light you on fire, throw you through a table covered with fluorescent light bulbs, thumbtacks, and barbed wire. And then while you're still burning, of course, as always, piss on you.
Well, I think the pissing part's a little uncalled for.
Yeah, the other stuff's okay.
yeah. Just take it one step too far.
Yeah.
But
I wasn't very creative today. That was a little violent.
That wasn't
Usually
bad.
I'm not that violent.
No, you have some hatred for me.
Well, you told me I was stupid.
Oh, all right.
So
I'm not going to say anything that I would do to you.
Good. Nobody wants to hear it anyway.
Yeah, maybe later. Maybe I'll save it for later. Pull it out when I need it.
So favorite opponent. We didn't talk about favorite opponent, did we? In the Q&A.
I don't think so.
You tell me, Mr. Memory Bank.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, usually I will say, because it depends. I kind of look at my career in two parts, right? So like there was a tag team part and there was a singles part, and I separate those. So I think as a tag team, I would have to say it was obviously the Hardy Boys and the Dudleys. So on the singles side, I would say probably Randy Orton, because of the series of matches that we had and that stage where I was at on the card, being in main events and things like that, and the World Championship scene, and just the quality of the matches and the chemistry that we had together. It just seemed like even if we tried, we couldn't have a bad match. So I think I usually say that.
Interesting, and that I would have guessed that, I guess, because you two were on. You could just tell, the apps like right on the same page. Not only the same page, but like the same word on the page. So I get that. I would have to say the same. Like I always say, I can't just say one favorite because I was lucky enough to get in. My career was 20 years, and in that 20 years, if there was a huge name in the industry, I got into the ring with them, unless it was, like AJ or Samoa Joe, and that was purely because those just didn't cross. But if you're looking at anyone who came through the WWF or WWE, I was able to get in there with them. So it's tough to narrow it down to just one. But again, if we're going to break it into tag team and singles, from a singles standpoint, it becomes much more difficult because I loved wrestling Matt and Jeff in singles. And Jeff is one of those guys that instantly I had that it was just there, and then, I've spoken before about how with Eddie, we didn't get there at first, and we were both very frustrated by it because on paper you go, okay, we should be able to tear the house down here. And they were fine. And I've since seen them back, and the first few matches were much better than I remember them being. But we were both so hard on ourselves that we just wanted it to be better because it should be, And then we finally got there, and from that point on, we're like, okay, we figured out the pocket that we need to be in. Now, Kurt is another guy right out of the get-go, same thing. Taker, there's so many guys.
Well, I mean, it's like this, right? Like put it in these terms as far as, say it's like trying on a pair of gloves, right? Sometimes you put on the first pair and it fits, and you walk out the store and you're happy with it, and you never have another issue with it. Some of them you have to try on 3-4 pairs before you leave the store, right? So it's kind of the same thing. You eventually find the right one that works, but sometimes there's just certain guys that you think, like I said, on paper, you should be able to go out there and tear it down, have an amazing match, and it just, for whatever reason, doesn't happen, and it is frustrating. So,
and it can get there. It can be a work in progress, and eventually you find it, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, sometimes people's movements are just different, right? There's guys have different timing or whatever, and sometimes it takes a little bit to figure out the timing. And then also you put it in these terms too, right? You try to figure out what the other person does really well and what their weaknesses are, because everybody has things they do really well and everybody has weaknesses. So you try to figure out what those the strengths are, and you highlight those and kind of minimize the things they don't do. That's the way I always try to look at it.
Well, it's interesting too. Like I think, as a for instance with Undertaker, him and I had one singles match before our match at WrestleMania 24. And it was probably a month before Mania, and it was in Chile, I think it was. Chile, in the Chilean mountains. And we decided that this was our only opportunity, really, to see, outside of tag teams and six-mans and things like that, okay, what do we got here? And we went out and did 45 minutes just to get on the same page, but it was almost instant on the same page. And it was it was amazing because, you got the main event of WrestleMania coming up, so you want to be on the same page. But it was just nice to realize that we fell into that pocket right away. It wasn't 3 or 4 matches to get there, because guess what? Match number 2 is going to be WrestleMania, and you want to try and get it there before that. So that was one of I guess the highest stakes version of that worked out, in terms of quickly, bam, okay, we're there.
Yeah. And sometimes it's like it's like any MMA fighter or boxer or hockey player, football player, whatever it is. You're bound to have a day off at some point, right? Like things aren't just going well for you. It's the same thing in wrestling, right? You can have an off night. And
I don't know what that's all about, actually. Please tell me.
I don't either, but I've heard. Yeah. So
I can never say a favorite match, because it's too hard. No, this is gonna sound so. It's just too hard because I had so many. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of matches that I really enjoyed being in. So it's tough to. And for different reasons.
Yeah, right.
For completely different reasons. Like, I will enjoy being in a TLC different than I will be just a straight up one-on-one wrestling match with no frills, no gimmicks, no nothing, just one fall to a finish kind of thing. And I like them for different reasons. So it's
also
hard to
it depends on what day you catch me on, too, when you ask me that, right?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think
so
it might be.
Let's say it's a Tuesday, Bird. What's What's it going to be? You in a TLC mood on a Tuesday?
What's the question?
I don't know. It's Tuesday, so what's your favorite match?
My favorite match?
Is it different than Wednesday? Yeah, okay.
Well, I never wrestled on Taboo Tuesday, so I can't say one thumb from there. Let me
Brutal. See. That was a horrible pun. That pun was punishing.
Yeah. I mean, I think I always kind of have it in the match where I won the world title for the first time, just because of and I've never watched the match back, so I don't even know if it was good or not. But in my mind, I know how it felt, and I know if I ever watch it back, I don't want anything to taint that. Like, if there's something in there that I don't like, I don't want to be like, oh, I didn't like that, I could have done it better. Like, I know how it felt. It happened in Tampa, which is my second home. I've lived here since 2001, so that was big for me.
And you can say the rest.
What's that?
The fact that I was there.
Well, yeah, that you were there watching and crying like a schoolgirl. But they but
I think you were the crying one. But
yeah, I was. But like, I mean,
well,
for obvious reasons, right? But then also when you think about the first tag ladder match with the Hardy Boys, that's the match that put us on the map. So it's hard not to say that too. Like you said, it's a hard thing to pin down.
And again, criteria. If you're asking me one of the most fun instances, well, winning the tag team belts with Hulk Hogan, winning the first tag belts with you.
Right.
But if you're looking at was the tag match with Hogan against Chuck and Billy the best match I've been involved in?
Right.
I mean, no. But it was certainly a lot of fun, and it was certainly, it was a good match. But
like I said,
I can't say it's one where I'm like, Yeah, exactly.
The best doesn't have to be the most memorable or the other way around, right? So it's
true.
It's just
subjective, Bird, is what we're trying to say here. It's all subjective.
Yes, exactly. What you're saying.
One thing I will say,
it.
And this is not subjective, that even at the time, and definitely going forward throughout my formative years, that Roddy Piper was by far one of my favorite personalities and wrestlers ever.
Right.
This week is 2 years since Roddy passed away.
It's crazy how fast it goes.
I know, because it just seems like we're talking about 2 years since we lost Dusty, and it's just so it's strange to think, for me, to think of a world that doesn't have a Roddy Piper in it.
Yeah.
And it does, because I have a Funko Pop Roddy Piper figure that Lyric and Ruby run around with. Yeah. So obviously he left huge indelible mark on the world, but I don't know, he was one of those people that even when I first saw him, he did exactly what he was supposed to do, because I hated him. And I loved Hulk Hogan, and I thought Roddy Piper was the most evil person alive. But a part of me also acknowledged the fact that he was one of the most entertaining people I had ever seen. You couldn't take your eyes off the screen when he was on it.
Well, he had that magnetism, right? That you always hear people talk about, and he wasn't necessarily, the biggest guy in the world, but he had a larger than life personality, and he could speak. And when he did talk, when he did do a promo, just even his mannerisms and the way that he presented his words, so to speak, he had that little laugh and the little ticks that he did and all those sorts of things. And yeah, he had this just something about him that got your attention, whether you loved him or hated him. And at that point, most people hated him, but they also realized that. Maybe didn't realize that was also what made guys like Hulk Hogan even more, because they hated Roddy so much.
Well, and the interesting part of it is as I get older and as I start to, understand the nuances of the business and things like that, that's when obviously I started to appreciate Roddy. And not only just what he did in the microphone, because let's be, you hear one of a kind and that cliche thrown around. There will never, ever be anyone, to me, who comes close to what Roddy Piper could do on a microphone.
No.
He was no one else. He was so different, and his inflections and his just the way he presented everything. Nobody else's mind did what he did.
No,
and he did it in his own special.
Could process the thoughts and get them out of his mouth fast enough the way that he did them.
And with the character and the humor and also the viciousness and just that dude, not only was he entertaining, but he could be such a heroic figure to where you felt for him and you felt his whole lead up with Brett and their friendship and all of that, but also just how mean and vicious and vile, and his promos with Buzz Sawyer when he was a baby face, but then before that and breaking beer bottles over his head, and he was just so different.
Right.
But that gets focused on, but the fact that he could, you watch that match back with him and Brett at WrestleMania, was it WrestleMania 8?
Right.
It's such a good match.
Yeah.
Such a great story. They got so much mileage out of simple, amazing things.
Right.
And toe for toe and toe to toe and move for move with Brett.
Right.
And it was so good.
Well, it's one of those things too, like we're talking about nowadays, and that sometimes little details are skipped over, and you just watch that back and it shows you right there the importance of details. You can't, not saying you can't do the everything evolves and gets bigger and faster and new things happen, and not saying that's not cool and it's not great, but you shouldn't forget about the details that go along with it that will enhance all that stuff, and that's a perfect example right there. And he's kind of has that, we talked about this before as well, and I think I brought it up with the AJ podcast where, I don't get when people say that John Cena is not good. It's the same thing with Roddy. He wasn't a traditional smooth wrestler.
Way.
He was unconventional. He was really good, but in an unconventional way, and that there's a difference there.
Yeah. Beyond, the hot rod shirt, the kilt, the MTV, the Cyndi Lauper, the basically being one of the cornerstones of helping create WrestleMania and what he means to the entire industry as a whole.
Right.
When I actually got to meet Roddy, he was one of the people that absolutely blew my mind in terms of, I don't know what expectation I had, but he blew whatever thing I had out of the water, because he was one of the kindest, most gentle, empathetic guys I ever met in the business. His heart was on his sleeve. It really was, and got lucky enough. And, again, as I've said, I got to work through that 20 years, man. I got to wrestle Jerry Lawler in Memphis. I got to wrestle Terry Funk. I got to, wrestle Hacksaw and all of these guys, team with Hogan, wrestle Flair, guys I never thought I'd get in the ring with. Mm-hmm. And then we're in England and it's me and Randy and we're wrestling Ric Flair and Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
Never thought that opportunity would come, and they were tag champs, and it was the first time Roddy was tag champ, and we took the titles that night. And after Tommy and I got the plate, the Roddy Piper, the nameplate that was on there, and we took it, and we were able to sneak it back, and we gave it to him, and it meant so much to him, and tears welled up, and it was just, it was one of those moments where I was like, wow, okay, I'm glad that I could have been a part of that and been a small footnote in this guy's history, because he's just he's just an awesome guy. He really, really was. For people that never got to meet him, or if you did meet him, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But Roddy was, man, a trailblazer, all of those things, but he was just a solid, good dude.
Right, and then here's the thing: is that for me, I never really had I met him on a few occasions, but I never really had a chance to really get to know him. And the few times that I did talk with him, he was very soft-spoken and, like I said, very, very in touch almost with like feelings and things like that, and very, like you said, just everything that you said that he was. That's the feeling I got, and it just shows you too that, what kind of guy he was. That when the lights were on, he could turn that character on. And that's got to take something out of you too to be able to get that intense in front of an audience and things like that too, to be able to get yourself up to do that.
Yeah, when it probably isn't your natural inclination, and that again. I don't think I ever really talked to him about wrestling, but I would sit there and talk to him about Oregon.
Right.
And because I've always been interested in living there. So we would just sit there and talk about Oregon or living in the mountains or just kind of everything but wrestling. And I'm so happy and thankful that I had those opportunities over the year. And I always made sure that if I saw him, I was like, I got to go talk to Roddy.
Yeah.
Because it would also be a shot of everything but wrestling. It'd be like a nice little dose of reality. Like, hey, this is what is attainable.
Yeah.
You can make your way out of this industry and have what he had, which was he's sitting up in the hills in Portland and loving life, and but still doing things and still acting and still keeping himself busy. So he had a creative outlet.
Right.
And I don't know. When I saw it was 2 years. Just kind of blew my mind. His son and daughter had asked me they interviewed me for their book, and it was a pleasure and an honor to cool. In any way be involved, and that story was in there. But yeah, so it's crazy. It's crazy.
No, it's really cool.
2 years.
Yeah, unbelievable. It goes fast. Remember back in high school we had that. We had hall monitors. Remember, and and the one hall monitor, her last name was Piper. And she used to pass off. And somebody asked her jokingly once, "Oh, are you related to Roddy Piper?" And she's like, "Yes, I am. He's my cousin." And we're like, "What?" And then of course we believed her, right? And she would tell us stories. Yeah, she even told us like times I'm come actually. Oh, we had how was your long weekend? Oh, it was good actually. Roddy came to the house. We're like, "What?" And it's like, she used to like string us along and everybody believing that Roddy Piper was her cousin, which was crazy.
And this is pre-internet, where we could just look up that his last name was Toombs.
Yeah,
like that wasn't a thing then.
Yeah.
You didn't have Googleplex to just go, hey, come on, Miss Piper, you're full of it, because his name is Toombs.
Yeah, but she was milking it for all it was worth, right? She was a celebrity.
What's interesting too, hey, and who's going to pass that up?
Yeah, right.
You get to soak some of Roddy Piper's popularity at high school. That's going to get kids to listen to you more.
Yeah,
yeah.
So,
but in reading the book, after I helped contribute with an interview, there's the legend that Larry Hennig was his first match, and it actually wasn't. I think they said in there was about his 17th, but that legend grew, and he just accepted it. It's like, okay, it's easier to just agree with it rather than fight it. But in there, and it was a few months ago that I read it, but they said his first match was probably against either some of these people. One of them was Tony Condello.
Wow.
And Tony, for those listening, Tony was or is a promoter in Winnipeg who was really the first guy who gave Jay and I a shot and a lot of opportunity to gain experience, even if the ring was only 10 by 10 on some of those shows. Yeah. It was like the LJN toy ring. But
it was the first place we kind of went and did kind of touring. So
yeah,
we'd do back, instead of doing like one show a month or one show every other week, he would book us for 2-3 weeks at a time. We'd wrestle every single night. So it was the first time we kind of got to tour, but we got to the point where he was bringing us on every tour. So we were doing it quite a bit.
And Tony is a character in a business with, where everyone is a character, and Tony stands out in this. And we'll have him on the show. We have to have him on the show. Yeah. Because there's no real explaining him, and you probably won't understand half of what he says when we do have him on the show. But he's from Winnipeg, and he was there when Roddy broke in Winnipeg, and he would always tell us these stories, and we were always like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever, Tony, yeah, okay, yeah, I know Roddy was born, he was out. I think was he born in Toronto and then went out to Winnipeg? I don't know, but it's So we'll have Tony on the show, but Tony may have been Roddy's first opponent.
It'd be crazy if he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny too,
Sure,
because
he'll claim
the way the way we knew Tony, this little Italian guy with a little pot belly, curly hair, and,
rock hard pot belly,
kind of short little stubby arms and legs, and mustache, and salt and pepper hair, and to think I can't even picture him as a wrestler, but to think of him, having a match with Roddy is crazy. When we on some of these places, these remote locations, when we'd go to do little radio interviews and stuff to promote the show that night, we would try to pass him off as Dink the Clown, remember? We used to, because he had the curly hair, and they were like, that's Dink the Clown. This doesn't have his makeup or his mask on. All the kids would be running around going, Dink, Dink, and he'd be like, he didn't know what to do. With his Italian loafers on in the middle of winter.
And this is a guy who would have not Doink the Clown. He would have Dewey Oink the Clown.
He would spell it just a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, one of a kind in a business full of them.
Yeah. I remember this one time I went up there.
So we'll have him on the show.
I remember this one time I went up there, and, this is probably my 10th or 11th tour at this point, and I look at the poster, and the poster says, Rock and Roll J. Christine.
Yeah.
And I went, what? And I said, Tony, who's this? He goes, that's you. And I was like, no, it's not. That's the name you always use. I said, Tony, that's not the name that I always use. And he's like, and I'm looking at it, and I said, hold on a second here. I said, my real name is Jay, and my wrestling name is Christian Cage. You couldn't remember it, so you took my first name and just took what you thought was the name of my wrestling name, which was Christian, but you called it Christine. So that's what you put them together. He goes, yeah, that's kind of what happened. And I asked him why the rock and roll, and he said he thought it was cool. So that's why we rock and roll. Jay Christine. Yeah.
Well, I am forever known as Circle Lurka Dude.
Yeah.
Which Paul Lazenby, who is Death Wolf Fenris, who never defeated me in battle, I always went over on him. And the reasons are obvious.
Yeah.
But in one of our radio interviews, which let's also paint the picture here. This radio interview is in a shack with a wood stove in the middle. Mm-hmm. It's minus 50 Celsius outside. Yeah. One microphone that we're passing off back and forth. And Tony is the MC, basically.
And also to put it to you, this is how professional it is. When we walked in, they turned around, saw us. The music was in the middle of a song. They turned it off, grabbed the microphone, went, wrestlers, and just handed the microphone over.
It was Megadeth. It was Symphony of Destruction. I'll never forget it because we walked in. I was like, oh, they're playing Megadeth. Okay, and then it's wrestlers, and they just okay. Bye, Dave Mustaine. It's now Death Wolf Fenris, and then he called me a surfer-looking dude in his promo. Yeah. And Tony grabs the mic back. He goes, that's a Circle Lurka Dude. I don't know what that means, but Adam Impact. And instead of impact, it was impact. Yeah. Like I had an impacted hair or something. What do you say about him calling you a Circle Lurka Dude? And from that point forward, I was a Circle Lurka Dude. Yeah. So that was what I wanted to talk about was Roddy. And
I'm glad we did.
I mean, hell, we could do it. I'd love to do an entire tribute episode
we
to
should do that.
Him and the Dusties and everything of the world and Machos and everything. But Roddy, I definitely...
he obviously was a huge part of our childhood growing up, right? So it's it hits home even still two years later to think about his contributions and what he meant to us as kids growing up and watching him and the influence that he had for guys like us that wanted to get into the business, into wrestling. Yeah, it still hits home, and it's good to tip the old hat to him and let him know that he's still thought about.
I'll flip the kilt.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Birdman, when I was a young man first making my way in the wrestling business, I wish there was a company like Lending Tree that could have helped me get my down payment on my first house and get my mortgage, get me rolling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm feeling you. I know most people know you're kind of an idiot, but did you know depending on where you get your mortgage, you could save $20,000 or more? But 80% of people only get one mortgage offer. And if you just go to your bank, chances are you'll get ripped off, screwed. Lending Tree doesn't want that to happen.
Here's the thing. The average Lending Tree customer can save $20,000 over the life of their loan. That's average. half of their customers could save even more. And even Christian can understand that.
Yeah, I understand $20,000 Reno's perfectly fine. That's a lot of money. So whether you're looking for a new mortgage, refinance, or home equity loan, LendingTree is the only place where you get up to 5 real offers from America's top lenders and compare side by side for free. And it takes only 3 minutes.
It's like shopping for flights online. Only you're shopping for the best mortgage offers for you. Rates always go up and down, but regardless of what is happening with the rates, you can always get the right offer for you with LendingTree.com.
Are you sure you have the best deal? Find out how much you can save today at LendingTree.com/awesomeness. That's LendingTree.com/awesomeness. What, you didn't hear the other 2 times? Okay, I'll tell you again. That's LendingTree.com/awesomeness. LendingTree, LLC, NMLS number 1136. Terms and conditions apply.
So, Birdman.
Yep.
I got my Stitch Fix. My personal style consultant, Lucinda. I changed now. Now Lucinda has taken over. She's hooking me up. I mean, if you're like a lot of guys, you could probably think of a million things you'd rather be doing than shopping for clothes, right? I mean, between the parking, the crowds, the mall, the endless browsing, and lack of advice online, it's enough to make you want to rock the same t-shirt and jeans forever. You do it all the time. I get it. But you can't. So let me tell you about Stitch Fix Men.
Or let me tell you about Stitch Fix for Men. And you know what? Here's the thing. If you're a fashion criminal, if you have no clue what you're doing, like Edge, if you wear 16 pairs of the same shoes, just in different colors, here's the thing. They've reimagined how to find and buy clothes, and you never have to leave the house. It's that easy. Just go to StitchFix.com and tell them your sizes, your favorite type of clothes, and how much you want to spend.
Okay, I happen to like Air Jordans, okay? Your personal stylist then gets to work handpicking new clothes for you based on your style and budget. 5 items are delivered right to your door. You try them on at home, and you only pay for what you keep.
And here's the good news. If you're cheap like Edge, shipping's free both ways. So anything you don't want, just send it back, and exchanges are always free too. You can get your fix monthly, quarterly, or whenever you feel like it. There's no subscription required.
Hey, and I got deep pockets. You got the T-Rex arms. But it's easy. The shipping is free. Why not give them a try? I promise you're going to get hooked. Get started now at StitchFix.com/awesome, and you'll get an extra 25% off when you keep all 5 items in your box.
That's right. That's StitchFix.com/awesome to get started today. StitchFix.com/awesome.
Awesome. So this week we went to London. We had an impromptu Q&A/podcast at the London Film and Comic Con.
We did
it. We did a little Q&A action. Might have. I don't know what I was trying to say there.
Yeah.
We may have been crashed by one William Regal.
The Beast Merchanator.
Yes. Yeah, and eventually we'll have a full episode with him because some of his stories and
they're great.
And insights and what he's doing now for the business, which he won't talk about because he'll try and talk all of that stuff down.
Right.
But we'll have him on the show. But even just to go out there and have a few questions with him and hear some of his stories,
and his dry sense of humor is pretty hilarious too. So
very, very dry British humor, which I appreciate, and I always end up cackling like a hyena when I'm around him.
Yeah.
So there was that. There's also there's some stuff that happened this week in the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Bird, anything you remember? Want to talk about?
Well, I don't remember anything from Raw because I was flying back from the UK and I didn't see it.
Oh,
so
you were on the Concorde.
Yeah, I was.
And you were sipping Boilermakers. I don't even know what a Boilermaker is.
I don't know what Boilermaker is either. But I did watch a little bit of SmackDown on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And saw the Nakamura defeated Cena to become the number 1 contender. So that's I remember a little while ago I made my bold prediction that Nakamura would beat Mahal at Survivor Series. So
you did, and you said that Corbin would cash in on Nakamura.
Is that what I said?
You did say that.
Well, see what happens. Might be a little bit early, but
yeah, could be. I watched parts of Raw as well. Saw that Revival are right back in the thick of things, and they're doing stuff with the club and the Hardys, which is fun. Very cool to see. Not even involving the tag team titles, that you have 3 really good teams just doing their own thing over here.
Yeah.
And it's interesting and fun and really, really, I mean, as we've talked about when we had them on the show, we love us some Revival. So it's just good to see them get get put in that mix and thrive, not only survive but thrive. They're doing great. I'm so proud of them. Good dudes.
And it's like we talked about too. They're a team and want to be a team, and throwback to being the days of matching tights and that kind of old school, so old school that it feels new school type of of tag team. So the division's stronger than we've seen it here in a long time. So it's good, and it's good to see those guys are getting to the forefront of it. So it's cool.
What's your take on this whole John Jones calling out Brock, and then in the promo them smartly capitalizing, saying if he loses the title, he's gone?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
first of all, two-pronged question. It's a fork with two prongs, Bird.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess.
So answer one, then answer the other. You dumb bastard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's obviously interesting. I mean, it's a super fight, right? I mean, no doubt people would want to see it.
Yep.
I think Jones. I mean, Daniel Cormier is one of the greatest fighters that ever lived, I think, and will go down as such. And he beat him twice. He's the only guy to ever do so. So that tells you what kind of fighter John Jones is. I think that the draw or the appeal of this fight is you have a guy the size of Brock, the strength of Brock, against a guy that's as talented fighting wise as John Jones, with both his feet and his hands and all those sorts of things. So
his wrestling's no joke either.
Yeah, no, it's not. But I mean, I don't think he's going to out-wrestle a guy like Brock, who's how much heavier than him, how much bigger than him. So I think there's some intrigue there, and it's kind of funny how the whole groundswell started. But it seems like it's something people want to see, and it seems like it's something they probably both want to happen. And I heard John Jones say that taking a model from Conor McGregor, that it's about time he started getting some big money fights. So I guess it's what he's trying to capitalize on, and Brock's the guy that would probably do it for him.
So, is it a possibility?
I think.
I mean, because to get back in the testing pool and all that stuff, I think there's still 4 months. So I don't think it happens this year. I don't think it logistically can happen in this calendar year.
Yeah, I don't know when it happens.
Do you feel like that promo was just to play on that
with a smoke the fire, baby?
Oh, I see what you did. You dropped into Dusty. I don't know what that was. That wasn't Dusty at all. Oh, I should smack myself.
Yeah,
but the head and neck area.
Yeah,
if you will.
Damn it. So
no, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that's my take on it. I think it's going to happen. I think that it would be a huge draw, both pay-per-view, live gate, and I think it'd be.
But it could be mistaken. It can't happen.
It
can't happen in 2017. I don't think.
I don't know when it happens, but I think it's going to happen. You?
I think it'll happen.
Yeah.
I think it'll happen in 2018, just because, like I said, because of the testing pool thing and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I don't think it can happen this year. So I think they capitalize on people questioning whether it can by saying if he drops the title, then he's leaving at SummerSlam. I'm sure there's things that I don't know about, though, that who knows, maybe it can happen in 2017. Anyway, you got to remember, in terms of Jones, that dude ain't walking around at 205.
No.
So he probably walks around 235, 240.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big dude, right? Like he's 6'5".
So he is. He's probably a natural heavyweight. He'll just be a small heavyweight.
Yeah, I mean, not height-wise, but he's
And would his wind be quite the same? No, all of those things. Yeah, and it would boil down to his striking is going to be better, and if he can land something, he's probably looking good. If Brock gets a hold of him and gets him down, I don't see him being able to get out from under it.
Yeah, it would be I think that's the intriguing part, right? The different variables and each thing that each guy brings to the table. Who's gonna get theirs first? So
Yep. But I wanted to throw that out there because that was part of what Raw was about this week. So I believe Bayley got injured this week. I saw she took a couple pretty nasty bumps on her shoulder. Looked pretty rough. So hopefully she's okay.
Yeah, hope so.
Yeah. And then I didn't see yet the Nakamura versus Cena, but I did see is it a GIF, Jay? Are they called GIFs?
I think so. Matt would know more than me.
Matt, what is it? Is it a GIF or is it a GIF?
It's a GIF. Yeah.
It's a GIF.
If you say GIF, just don't say GIF.
No? Is
Some
that
people
bad?
say GIF, and they're all losers. So.
Oh, they're all losers. Okay.
It's GIF or nothing.
Yeah.
GIF or bust.
GIF's
All
like
right,
West
so I saw-
Coast, yeah.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with the West Coast, man.
It's true.
West Coast is the best coast, isn't that what they say?
Yeah. So what'd you see? You saw.
So anyway, I saw
GIF?
the GIF where Nakamura dropped John on his head.
Well,
Looked pretty ugly.
yeah, it did. I mean, that's
And I've seen my fair share of Japanese head bumps. Backdrop drivers, Steve Williams. I've seen my fair share of those, and that was right up there. It was a good one,
yeah. It was pretty high.
or a bad
up.
one,
Yeah.
depending on how you want to look
Yeah,
at it.
it
I would
was-
say bad.
Yeah, he landed them up pretty high. I mean, those. It's like I guess those things.
If I'm not
can happen.
mistaken,
I'm sure that
the opponent usually flips to their stomach on that.
right. Oh, they do. Okay.
John's a heavy dude,
Yeah.
and if having never worked, again back to that point where Eddie and I found ourselves, where you're just kind of like, okay, we're getting there, we're feeling each other out, but you're on live TV and you're feeling each other out, and things can happen. That to me looked like one of those things that could happen. It was like John wasn't sure what the move was, and there's, especially with a dude with John's density, because John is a very he's
thick.
250,
He's not
but
light.
he's a thick 250 in terms of lifting.
Right.
So you both have to be on the same page if something like that is going to work.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to, like I said, what we were talking about earlier, right? Sometimes, it was the first time working, and, if they probably did it 100 times now, they probably get it right every time. But, just thankfully he wasn't, doesn't seem like he's injured on it. So that's good news.
What? Yeah, true. That's one of those residual effect things, though.
Right. Yeah.
Because those bumps, you only got so many of those in the bump tank.
That's right, brother.
That seemed like a good opportunity for a brother.
It did.
Oh, you know what? We should do a little informal poll this week on the Twitter.
Yeah, tell us what shirts you want to see.
Exactly. You read my mind, Bird.
Well, I didn't really read your mind. I don't want to seem that smart, but we were discussing a little bit before we went on air about some different T-shirt ideas, and we had talked that this weekend we were in London. We got a lot of requests for brother shirts. So
we did, but you smelled what I was stepping in, Jay.
Yeah.
You knew where I was going there.
Yeah.
And it was a big pile of shit, and I stepped in it, and you smelt it, and here we are. Now we're
caught a
talking about
waft.
T-shirts.
I kind of wafted
Yes. Yeah. So we could throw a little Twitter question about what T-shirts do you guys want to see or wear, or just laugh at or point at, and stuff like that there.
Yeah, like that there. Or there.
Yeah.
So,
there somewhere.
So backing up a little bit to the old SmackDown main event.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think? Where do you see it going from here? Do you think Nakamura wins at SummerSlam, or what you thinking?
It seems like a good place to have a coronation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In terms of this is a guy that we have faith in going forward.
Yep.
I think Jinder through the series with Randy putting him over, multiple times in a row on pay-per-view. I think that has helped solidify him, and he actually has. And people say it's the wrong kind of heat. He has heat.
Right.
He has heat, and people are reacting.
Right.
It's with Khali, with the Sings. It's a nice little package now, and I think he's continuing to learn and grow. As with each pay-per-view, you can see more confidence happening.
Right.
I don't know. It feels like, gosh, I don't know. It's tough, man. Because SummerSlam's a good place to do it.
Yeah.
It's his first opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
so it feels like you only get that opportunity once.
Right.
But I could also see them holding off and having him drop it at Mania.
Well, here's
where
the thing too.
It really means something.
Well, here's the thing too, right? To me, when I look at the overall scope of it, you think about, I think my personal opinion is I think they kept Nakamura on NXT a little bit too long. And he was, not to say he's not hot, but he and couldn't get back to that level. But I think that there was some serious buzz about him when he first got to NXT, and I think they should have maybe sped that up just a little bit. And I think that by doing this, it maybe kind of puts him back in that space again. You know what I mean? Like you said, you get one chance to do this, and they already missed an opportunity for one kind of big moment for him. So this might be the one where it kind of makes up for that in a sense.
And here's my deal with Nakamura. A la Reigns, they're two dudes that don't need to talk.
Yeah.
Reigns, and I know I've mentioned this before, but back to think of him back in the Shield and, nod a couple things maybe.
Yep.
And that's all that guy needs. Mm-hmm. His charisma comes out through his movements. He doesn't need to talk because there is a language barrier. There is the mouth guard. There's all of these things. It almost seems to take away from some of the mystique of what he builds up on his entrance when you have him talk. It's not needed. Let him go. Just, take the leash off and let him run. And him running is his entrance and his matches.
Yep. And I mean, this is just his body movements and his charisma, and even things that he does with his hands and all those sorts of things. You're right. He doesn't need to talk. And even if somebody is cutting a promo on him, and he can tell that story with his face and his body language. So yeah, he doesn't need to talk specifically.
So one of the biggest aspects of Jinder Mahal's game and his heat is his promos.
Right.
So now they're going to program with each other, and now you see the conundrum. See what I'm saying there?
No, I don't. That he will be able to talk now, or he's going to talk, or...
Well, they'll probably have him talk now.
Yeah. I mean, he has been talking on the show.
I know, but like I said, it just seems to... I think that's part of what you're talking about, getting that steam that he had from NXT. I think he loses some of that steam when he has to cut a promo.
Right. So you're saying in a perfect world, you would let Jinder and the Singh boys and Khali, for that matter, do the talking. And
I don't know about Khali, but
but
yeah.
Can say what he says,
okay. Here's an example that I'll use from something that I experienced firsthand. So, Undertaker and I had done a TLC match where he's banished from the WWE if I win. Right?
Right.
So that's not the end of the feud, though. So I win the TLC. He's banished. Now we head to SummerSlam. And eventually the match is made, because Vicky and I broke up, and then she makes the Hell in a Cell. But I'm having to do this last quarter, this last chapter of the program, without my opponent on the show. And all of the promos were directed at someone who wasn't on the show. And it was we used the breakup of La Familia to kind of get through the weeks and build up the fact that I'm losing my mind, and Vicky is putting me behind the eight ball in terms of putting me in Taker's specialty after she put me in my specialty against him. So there's a lot of different layers. But I guess my point is, it's possible for one side of the equation to carry that aspect of it.
For sure. Yeah.
That's my point, Bert.
Yeah, no, it's totally possible, and they could even do a thing for a week or two where they kind of gang rules and kind of rough them up a little bit, maybe even put them out for a week or two.
Rough them up.
Yeah, rough them up, and then rough them up.
1920s.
Yeah. A little steam.
Yeah, say we're gonna rough them up.
Yeah, we're gonna rough them up, and they could do a little thing there where maybe he's even gone for a couple weeks, and then he kind of makes a little valiant return.
Valiant.
Just throwing it out there. He seems like he's one of those guys that doesn't necessarily need to be there every week to keep hot,
Agreed. Natty finally gets a title shot.
I know, it's great.
Against Naomi at SummerSlam. They'll have a hell of a match, too.
They will.
Yeah. What will be great is because I don't know if we've ever been able to see fully what Naomi can do, especially with an opponent like Natty. You know what I mean? So I think it'll be good. It'll be a good showcase for both of them because Natty gets center stage in a title match on a major pay-per-view.
Yeah,
and Naomi, of course she has. Yeah. And Naomi gets the kind of opponent where she can have that match to show exactly, because she's a freak athlete.
Yeah, she is, and I think that everything's kind of tying in for her now too. I think there was a couple times before where, with the Funkadactyl thing, and then she didn't really know what she was doing after that, and maybe couldn't really find out what was working for her. And then I guess she had this glow idea in her mind for a long time, and finally pushed for it and got it through. And it seems like she's thrived since she's gotten that, and the crowd's kind of grabbed onto it as well. It's cool. It's different. It looks cool, and it's kind of given her that extra confidence to go along with how good she was already in the ring.
If I'm a kid, I gotta see that entrance because it looks awesome. It looks so much fun. I mean, she can dance, obviously. So every aspect of it, super cool, super original. And,
I would love to see you do that entrance.
I would kill it. I can dance, man. You saw it on the stage at that London Film and Comic Con when we danced off the stage. I was just pulling my dance game down to match you guys. If I really wanted to tear it up there.
I wasn't even dancing. That's just how I walk.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah. I mean, I have natural rhythm. So, I mean, can you imagine if I was feeling the glow? I mean, I'd come out with like a giant fluorescent bird beak, run to the ring, peck the ring post.
Wings?
Yeah. Peck the ring post, climb up on top, and like flap my arms like wings, but it's just glowing. Oh, man.
You're becoming the gobbledygooker to me. Like in my mind now, I picture you with a giant gobbledygooker head, but still your face, like you got a chin strap, and it sits on top of your head, and you have the wings. Yeah. You're the bird, man.
Yeah, maybe I'll go up as the gobbledygooker for Halloween this year.
There you go. Well, it's been a long show there, Jay, and I think it's time. I think it's time. We get to that interview. We get to that Q&A in London, and we just talk over each other for about 10 more minutes, and then we get there, and then William Regal, I
want to elbow your lips and slap your ass.
Why do you want to slap my ass? Here we go. Here we go.
Well, please put your hands together and welcome to the stage, Christian and The Edge. I thought it was the guy from U2.
Say hello to The Edge, everyone.
So clearly, since he doesn't have a clue, I'm Edge. The Edge is a bald guy in U2. Thank you, host.
I kind of like The Edge.
Okay, the Christian.
The Edge. That's so classic.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
So the idea here is that there really is no idea. We are doing an impromptu / maybe not impromptu podcast right now. So basically what we're figuring this out as we go along. We're just going to open it up to Q&A.
Much like the podcast, we really have no idea what we're doing up here. That's basically the thing.
How many of you have heard the podcast yet? Okay, so there's a few. Basically, we're just a couple of idiots that don't really know what we're doing.
Right.
But lately, we've started doing this, Twitter questions or email questions or things like that, and we'll answer them on the pod. So we thought this is a good opportunity where you can just ask us face to, I guess, knees.
Yeah. You know what, right now? I want to take your face and slam it into that speaker system right there until it makes all those weird noises. It goes, eee! Then grab you by the ankles, drag you up and down these aisles, throw you over that guardrail, kick you like a soccer ball back around here onto the stage, and then continue.
First of all, it's not soccer.
Football, I meant.
Ha ha! I just won that battle.
I meant hacky sack.
Well, usually we do a little thing where we say the bad things we want to do to each other, but it gets a little, I see younger folks here, so we won't do that today.
We'll keep it PG.
Birdman.
Here we go.
So why don't we just start answering some of your questions?
Yeah.
Geez, that's loud. Who on the current roster would you most like to see have a title run? Like heavyweight title?
Yeah, that hasn't already kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Sami Zayn.
Good choice.
I won't say Sami Zayn because he's my arch rival in fantasy hockey. So I don't want him to win at anything. I would say Balor. I'd like to see Balor have a good run.
He won
with
it.
Yeah, he didn't have a run though.
Oh, a run with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just said who's
he said a run.
before.
He said a run, right?
A run? So people could have had it before, and I could still want to see them have it again.
Balor had it for like a day.
Well, because maybe I would have said AJ. Because I'd like to see him have it longer. Don't start with me, man.
I swear, it'll happen right now.
I'm going to stick with Sammy. You going to stick with Balor?
Yeah.
All right. We're a married couple. We really are. Like, we're at the point where we kind of can't stand each other.
What do you mean, kinda?
We can't stand each other, but also love each other. Aww, I mean...
I guess now it's time for me to give up. I feel it's time. Got a picture of you beside me. Got your lipstick mark still on your coffee cup. Ooh, yeah. Got a fist of pure emotion. Got a head of shattered dreams. Gotta leave it all behind now. Everybody, whatever I said, whatever I did, I didn't mean it. I just want you back for good. Want you back. Want you back. I want you back for good.
Now, see, I don't listen to Britpop. So... Usually, I would join in, but I had no idea what that was.
He's like, I don't know the song. He's like looking at me like...
I pride myself on my musical knowledge, but that I had no idea. But until the chorus, then I got it. But it was too late. You guys already had it.
Actually, if Regal were up here, he would have sang that with me.
Tommy.
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 Tommy wouldn't know that song. Tommy.
Tommy.
Let's call Tommy.
We should cold call him.
Let's call him.
So,
see if he's
who
awake.
else?
Tommy.
Hello. Did they leave with the mic again?
Hey guys, if Tommy answers, everybody go Tommy, Tommy, Tommy. Okay.
Well, let's answer this question and then you get it queued up. All right.
Hi.
Hi.
Edge, when are you going to release a second book? And Christian, when are you going to release one?
When am I going to read one?
Release.
He's probably never going to read one.
Yeah. I would actually read my own. I'd be like, yeah, I'm really
I'm
cool.
so good at this.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I thought about it. I'm just one of those kind of people like, I don't know if anybody really care about what I have to say. I don't know. I think that'd be one of those ones where I'd have to kind of write it first and then maybe just from that say, okay, maybe it'd be worth taking it to the next step after that, but maybe write it first kind of without telling anybody I was doing it to see if it was any good. So, I don't know. Something to keep, to keep in the back of the memory for sure.
Basically, he's fishing for all of you to say, write a book.
How many pre-sales do I have right here? 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'll collect all the money before we go.
You
And
got 5
then,
pre-sales, brother. That's a bestseller.
You'd buy one.
I'd expect a free one.
No.
I probably wouldn't get a free one. That's the thing. Like, Pete Gass, who was in the Mean Street Posse, he asked me to write the foreword, and I did, and he didn't send me a book. And then he's like, hey, can I come on the podcast? I was like, well, I didn't get a book. You want to promote it on our podcast? Are you still calling Tommy?
I'm calling him right now.
Okay.
You guys want his number?
No, you don't.
It's ringing. If I get his answering machine, we'll all leave him a Tommy, Tommy, Tommy message. When I get his message, I will.
He's not answering because he sees it's Jay calling. That's the thing. This is riveting stuff for them, by the way.
You can entertain them for a minute.
Okay. So, will I ever write another one? I got about halfway done, and then it just...
Thank you.
Everyone?
Please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Tommy, 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 Tommy.
He is going to hate us so much.
Yeah. He's like, people are going up to him at events and stuff and saying, Tommy, 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 and he like starts sweating, gets beat red in the face.
we saw a clip of a match he was having in Australia, and people in the crowd started doing it during his match, and he like stutter stepped and looked like he was having a seizure, and he was like, so that'll be good. To finish answering that, I don't know. I got halfway through, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. The Muse, like I said, she's a fickle beast, that Muse, and she flew off. So I don't know if I'm going to finish it. That doesn't really answer your question. I'm sorry.
Yo, am I on? Hey. Hey. Because I know you're both fans, can just off the cuff, can you both cut an Ultimate Warrior style promo and then let us decide whose was better?
He knows, Warrior.
What?
Well, it's about time you had the real man's man, Stone Cold Steve Austin, on for an interview.
Not exactly.
What?
That's not you.
Not me?
No.
Well, who the hell is it?
William Regal?
William Regal? Hell, he's just another man that I opened up a can of whoop-ass on. But if you insist, I'll do it. Here we go. He's a man, such a man, such a man. He's a real man's man. He's a man, such a man, such a man. I'll tell you one thing, it takes a real man like Stone Cold to sing that song. They should have got Stone Cold to sing it for him. It's bullshit.
Hello, your lordship.
Oh, hello, dear. How are you?
Hello, Treacle.
Hello. I just thought I'd come out because you were boring everybody today.
You were about a minute too late. I just sang Back for Good.
Oh, lovely.
You did the entire song.
Do you mind if I join you?
His lordship and myself, we had this trainer in WWE. His name was Big Daddy Peaches. He's from Georgia. And he was a very sweaty man. And he got nervous when people were in close proximity to him. He was very much aware of that. So we used to stand on either side of him and sing Back for Good to him. And he would just pour sweat. It would just run down his face and he didn't know what to do. So that was always a fun time.
You're always full of interesting tales, you aren't you? Right, so what's going on?
We had an impromptu podcast that started, and so now we can have an impromptu Q&A with you, with us.
Lovely.
And then we'll put it on our podcast.
Right.
What do you think?
It'll go down a storm, I'm sure.
It'll be riveting, won't it? So now, if you have questions for Regal, if you have questions... You just ask him.
Anybody?
Sure.
Hi. What's your favorite match from all time?
Ooh. That we were involved in or just to watch?
That you were involved in.
Okay. Who first?
I guess, it's hard to... when I won the World Heavyweight Championship for the first time, because it's, one of those moments that you dream about happening your entire... I grew up a huge wrestling fan. And when I got into the business, of course, you always want to go as far as you can and reach the top, and to get there after years and years and years of hard work was very satisfying, and probably that or the ladder match with the Hardy Boys that kind of put us on the map for the very first time.
I've never won the World Championship, so thanks for bringing that up.
You've always been my champion.
Oh, thank you, dear. This will probably bore the life out of you if I tell you mine, but June the 6th, 1990, in Brighton, England, against my old tag partner and best friend, Robbie Brookside, is my favourite match after a probably conservative estimate of about 5,000 of them. And I still remember that more than anything else.
I have a tough time saying favorite, because I have a lot of different ones that I look at with fond memories, and each opponent is, I loved wrestling Jeff Hardy. I loved wrestling Matt. I loved wrestling Undertaker, Kurt Angle, these two, Rey Mysterio, all for different reasons. So it's tough to say a favorite, but in terms of the moment, it would be, Undertaker main event for the World Heavyweight Championship. You get to go on last at WrestleMania, and that's really tough to capture that feeling, So I guess if I had to pick one.
Yeah, we get it. You're more over than us. Thanks.
Actually, that reminds me of a second favourite match was against him in Tokyo.
Japan, yeah.
And then there's no evidence of that apart from about a 20-second clip
and
of it.
You
right?
sent me that, so then I sent a request out on the pod. If anyone can find it, they can't find it. So it's lost to history. But it's in our brain pan.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, we're going to get back to the Q&A in a minute. But Birdman, earlier you were talking about gloves and putting on gloves and comparing it to opponents. But I want to talk about underwear, because underwear is way more important than a pair of gloves. Putting on a comfortable pair of underwear.
Hold on a second. Are you comparing opponents to underwear now?
Maybe I am.
Okay.
It's important stuff. Our new sponsor is MeUndies, the softest underwear you'll ever wear. They're one of those products you just have to experience for yourself. I could tell you about them all day long, but feeling, that's believing.
Ooh, right you are, Edgeroo. Every pair of MeUndies is sustainably sourced and made from micromodal, a fabric that's 3 times softer than cotton.
If you're used to buying boring underwear, which Christian is, he's wearing tighty whities with bacon strips right now, MeUndies will change everything. Because MeUndies come in all kinds of colors and patterns, and they release new limited edition patterns each month that always sell out.
Yeah, so if you're tired of the tighty whities and the bacon strips like I am, this month's patterns were designed by the legendary 80s clothing brand Cross Colors, with names that live up to their bold design and bright colors. Increase D, Peace, Ya Dig, and the OG.
I would pay just to hear you say that again. You've got to see them for yourself, and right now you'll save 20% off your first pair and receive free shipping only at MeUndies.com/awesomeness.
There's a reason MeUndies has sold over 5 million pairs to date. You'll feel it when you put them on.
And if you don't love your first pair of MeUndies, they're free.
Yep, get 20% off your first pair, plus free shipping at MeUndies.com/awesomeness. That's MeUndies.com/awesomeness.
MeUndies.com/awesomeness.
Bacon strips could be a design, right?
Might be now.
Hi, Edge. If you could spear anyone in the WWE universe, then who would you spear?
Christian.
You can do if you want.
I guess I could.
Yeah.
Why do you hurt me?
Oh, yeah, play on their emotions. You don't know the real him. He's such a dick. See? Hi.
Yeah, hi. My favorite show on the network is your show. So I was just wondering when the new season starts.
We don't know. we wrote it. It's just right now I don't know what they have in mind, budget-wise or anything like that. And now, we both have other jobs that we have to do too. So it's going to be tough to cram it in.
Yeah, we'll see. I do know this. It would have blown the first season out of the water. I can say that confidently. It was going to be really good. So, TBD, I guess, is the best way to put it, to be determined. So we'll see what happens.
It was much funnier than the first season. And we would have had, time, hopefully, this time, instead of, filming 3 episodes in 3 days and, kind of flying by the seat of our pants.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
What is your favourite title reign? What's your favourite title reign?
Favorite title reign?
Yeah.
When I was world champion for 2 days was magical.
That's 2 days more than me.
Yeah, I think world champion, the second time I had it for, 30-something days, but I think that, to me, and I've said this before, being recognized as world champion, whether it's for a day or for a year or whatever, I think not a lot of people get that chance. Even to get that chance is pretty special. So I think for me, that would definitely be it?
Probably the one-day Intercontinental title reign or the 2-hour tag team title reign. Got you beat. Although you won the tag team titles for 2 hours with me. I don't know. I guess probably the first world title sticks out. The first tag team titles that him and I won, because we always dreamt of doing that as kids and jumping off his parents' washing machine, pretending, we were the Rockers, and so that one was pretty special because it was WrestleMania. It was our first WrestleMania, and we're standing on top of a table crammed onto 2 ladders, and it was very, very surreal, and really one of those things that you dream of but you can't dream of at the same time, if that makes any sense.
If you care about mine, it's mine would be the first WCW World Television title, because I got to wrestle Ricky Steamboat, which not many people of our generation can say. And so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
So
it was
real
1993 that you two hadn't even started wrestling then.
No. Started in 91.
Oh, did you? Oh,
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
so,
I'm
but like
kind of old.
1993, but yeah, I was 20, just turned 25 then, so it was pretty.
And this question I'm going to ask you, what was it? Because I wrestled Ricky, but it was very briefly in like a 6-man tag after WrestleMania. What was that like, especially at that point in his career?
Unbelievable, because he was on his game then, like brilliant. I was so fortunate. Just the whole thing with me is the only reason I'm sat here today. I was born at the right time. So being born at the right time and wanting to get into this, I came into this in this country when there was still all the greatest of the great British wrestlers left to learn from. I went to America when I was 24, and Europe and everywhere else I went when there was still all those fellas. But then I went to America and I was still, within a few months of me being there, I'm wrestling Barry Windham and then Arn Anderson and Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair. And I mean, I remember my first match against Ric Flair. I was in Cardiff. We were on tour here in September of '93, and I'm like, literally like, what am I doing here? Ric Flair stood there, and I'm about to wrestle him, and things like that, And Ricky Steamboat, because I, as soon as I could watch, I never saw American wrestling until 2 years after I was already wrestling. That's hard for any of you to understand that, but you could not get any. There was no American wrestling shown on TV. You couldn't get any tapes. The first tape I got was in 1985, and so. Just magazines, you get the occasional American wrestling magazine. So I was just immersed in British wrestling. And so then all of a sudden it seemed like that, and I'm wrestling Ric Flair and I'm wrestling all these people. Because I was the last of the people that come along that got to do all that. And then luckily for me it just went on, and then like around you fellas and got to wrestle all that as you have, but like you start listing all the people. And I mean, I've wrestled Antonio Inoki. Which that's most people won't know, but like, there's nobody's ever done. There's nobody left of. I was just lucky, and it's not anything to do with me. I was just born 1968, and I started at the right time, and so it's been very good for me that I can say I've done a lot of things because of that.
To put that into context, Inoki fought Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
And essentially the first MMA fight of all time in 1976.
Which is a big deal, especially in Japan. Like, so I'm known for that because I was on when he retired, I was his number 7 final countdown match.
Ah, okay.
So it's just weird stuff that I'm just me, right? But I got to do that, and being born at the right time. If I'd have been born 5 years later, this career would never have happened, because the guys in England that taught me to be the style that I needed, they'd all packed in by then. It's weird. Just that being born at the right time was perfect for me.
Well, he's being modest, but also being born at the right time. But we're also lifelong fans, all three of us. So I think that goes a long way to actually appreciating when you get in there with Ric Flair, or you get in there with Inoki and Ricky Steamboat, and really understand what that exactly means in our industry. So it's a good story.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Right, I know this is supposed to be PG, but do any of you have a good drinking with Ric Flair story?
I do. I have lots of them. I have about 3 years worth of them. I have a great one. So I'd been out on a 3-day bender in Las Vegas with Ric Flair. And I mean a serious 3-day bender. Myself, Arn Anderson, Bobby Eaton, and Ric Flair. And on the Monday, we had to drive. We were going to fly, and we decided to drive from Las Vegas to Lancaster, California, which is in between Las Vegas and LA, and it's in the middle of the desert. It's a dust bowl, to be honest with you. It's just a red-hot dust bowl. And we were in not a good state at all. And Rick decided, instead of flying, we were going to drive, and he went to rent a car, and there was not a good car left, and we ended up in the smallest, horrible car you could ever imagine, with the four of us all just in a right state. And he decides to drive, and Rick is without doubt the worst driver ever. He should never be allowed behind a wheel. But he decides to drive. And we're just driving outside of Las Vegas, and we stopped to get a sandwich. And 2 months before, he had took myself and a load of us to St. Martin in the Caribbean. He had a gym there. And he'd opened this up, and we opened the gym for him, and we did a show there, and it was nice. So we get in a sandwich, and I'm the last one in there, and there's a TV on, and I'm watching this news show, and there's a hurricane going on somewhere, and I can see all these things blowing away, like all these buildings blowing away, and I look, it's St. Martin, where his gym's just opened. And so I get in the car, and I went, "Hey Rick, I've just watched your thing, and your gym's just blown away." and he went, "Oh no, brother." And I went, "Why?" "I didn't have any insurance." So I just start laughing, and Arn starts laughing, and Bobby and I've got bits of sandwich coming out my nose. I've flipped. I'm very fortunate in the fact that when I flip, some people smash things up, and I just start laughing, and to the point that I make myself ill laughing, which is a good release to have instead of getting in a load of trouble, right? But I start laughing. So we're driving, and we just keep breaking down laughing, and he's just stone-faced. I mean, absolutely incensed. And this is 1994, so there was no cell phones then or anything. He had to keep stopping in the middle of the desert, and I mean, there's some good roads now running through the desert in Las Vegas. There wasn't then. And these old phone boxes, and he's trying to put, and the wind's blowing and the sand blowing all over him, and he's just getting madder and madder and smashing the phone. And we're just killing ourselves laughing. And I've been to this place, Lancaster, the year before, and it's an outside show. It was like at some the local fair or something, Lancaster Fair, and the ring was just outside, and it's just red dust everywhere. And I'm always dressed up. Even as we left Las Vegas, I'm in a pair of shorts and a polo shirt, but that's about as. And he's in as usual, a couple of $1,000 suit and $1,000 crocodile shoes, and I'm saying, "Rick, you don't want to wear them. We get changed in tents. It's just red dust everywhere. You don't want to wear it." Not only is he wearing a suit, he's wearing a white suit. So there's all this going on, and it's 3-hour drive, and he's smashing phone boxes, and he just keeps looking at us with total disgust. At one point, he just went, "I'm stuck in this Mox Dodge with 3 drunk lunatics and the Gila monsters, right?" And he's just just incensed. And we get to Lancaster, and we just keep breaking down laughing. And he gets out the car, and he went, "I'm sick of you three. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you. My life's going to hell, and all you can do is laugh." And he slams the door, and this big cloud of red dust just goes whoomph all over him, and he stood there, and all you can see is his eyes, and his hair's all red, and he's just completely covered in dust, and he just went, ah, and just run away. And I didn't see him for about 2 hours. He just run away. I don't know where he went, I have no idea, but that is the tame version of what happened in that 3 days. I honestly can't tell you anymore, but I should be in prison for all of it. How I got away with a lot of it, I don't know. I was also there when I've been there with him that many times when he's just decided to go and put his robe on and come into a bar and just take it off, and he's naked all the time. I have no idea what that was. I was there that night. There was a famous night infamous night in Germany somewhere where he was naked with his robe on, and then Hulk Hogan rode through the hotel on Harley Davidson, right into the lobby and right into the bar, and there used to be a lot of crazy things went on.
That's a hell of an entrance.
It was an entrance, yeah. And I'm glad I got through all that, because there's a lot that didn't. But unfortunately, I can't really tell you because it just incriminates people, and I don't like getting into it too much. But that's about the PG version anyway.
Hello.
Hello.
You three obviously have wrestled with the one Jeff Hardy. How do you protect him and yourself as well? Because he looks like he hurts a lot of you. Well, he doesn't get hurt as well.
Jeff's kind of one of those freaks that I think he just doesn't think a lot. He just does, and goes on this weird innate instinct that he has. But it's a great instinct. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking about him right now. He is one of the surprisingly heaviest people. And you wouldn't think it, but he's about 225.
He's about 450 pounds anyway.
When he lands on you, it feels like he's 4 bills for sure. Like when he, I think it was WrestleMania 23, when he jumped off the ladder onto me, that is by far the most painful thing I have ever experienced in my life, period. It hurt so bad. But I felt like I owed him that for him taking that spear at WrestleMania 17. I don't know. I think he just goes loose and just, I don't know how he does it.
Well, here's the thing about Jeff, and I think these guys would agree, that he would much rather put himself out there to make sure that you're entertained than he does care about his own well-being. And that's just the way that he thinks. He wants to make sure that everybody gets their money's worth when they see him, what they expect to see from Jeff Hardy. And it's funny, kind of a funny story. He and I were talking one day, and it might have been when we were talking about some of the ladder match stuff, and I just looked at him. I said, Jeff, you're not afraid to die, are you? And he looked right at me and went, no, why? And I was like, that explains a lot. Okay. And but yeah, I mean, you just try to have to structure things and in a way that you can protect yourself as much as possible. If he has something in his head and he wants to do it, he's going to do it no matter what. That's the way he is.
By the same token, though, sometimes you have to do the protecting for him and say, hey, maybe if we tried it this way instead of like falling backwards off the top of the ladder through 4 tables. Maybe we could go face first so we can see it coming, that type of stuff.
Hi. My question is, have any of you faced Rikishi, and has he ever stink-faced any of you before?
He stink-faced him.
I wore a goalie mask.
And me more than anybody. That was once, they know the kind of things that I do, comedically wise and face pulling wise, and so that was a regular thing for me for quite a while. Yeah, it's quite disgusting, to be honest with you. And I mean, it really is not a pleasant experience at all.
But and
he's very clean though. No. Oh, he's very clean.
It's better than the opposite, I guess. But also, you pigeonholed yourself in that you would do such great facials and such great comedic timing and some of the faces you would make. That's why he would get that call to do that, because you knew it would just sell so well and play so well. It would be so comedic. Your own worst enemy, basically, is what I'm saying.
Believe me, it's a lot easier pulling faces than getting dropped on your head.
Fair enough.
There we go.
We've done that too.
Done that as well, but yeah.
Hi guys. Back in the day when Survivor Series was when teams of 5 strive to survive, if you could pick any 4 other wrestlers to be your perfect team at their peak from any time period, who would you guys have as your dream Survivor Series partners?
Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect, Macho Man. It's off the top of my head. I don't.
Fit Finlay, Dave Taylor, Daniel Bryan, and I would say Sheamus, maybe, because everybody's going to fight to the last breath. So, yeah, that would be a team.
Surprisingly tough question. Good question.
Yeah.
I would do Gilbert, Spike Dudley, Funaki, and Hornswoggle, because then I'd be the biggest guy on the team.
Hey. What you don't know about Funaki, I'm going to give you a little something to look up. There is a video on YouTube somewhere, and it's by a very famous Japanese submission wrestler called Fujiwara, who's, some of you may know, there's an armbar named after him. He is the man when it came to submission wrestling. His young boy in Japan was Funaki. And people don't know because they see that nice smiling face of Funaki and go, oh, he's nice. There's a video out there of him literally beating people within an inch of their lives. He is a fearsome wrestler, but nobody knows about it. And if you say anything to him, he'll go, oh, shh, don't tell anybody. I would have him on my team as well, believe it or not, because he's a right handful if he wants to be.
And actually, when I say biggest, I should make it clear that I'd be the tallest, because I'd probably be the second heaviest if Hornswoggle was on the team. Yeah.
I used to have to put him to bed. I used to go and find him every night and put him to bed. It was like picking up a 600-pound kettlebell, trying to get him into bed and like roll him in there every night. God, he was heavy.
You're right, guys. Just a quick question. What's probably one of the most funniest or craziest mistakes that's ever happened in match? So in the ring.
Good question, no answer. I'm trying to think, yeah.
I got nothing.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I can think of 2 and there's no way that I can tell you. Honestly, there is no way I could tell you, but they're pretty, yeah, they were funny. No, honestly, I can't. There's children in the audience.
If I remember correctly, there might have been an incident of someone in white tights and a bacon strip appearing.
Was that you?
No.
Oh, okay.
If I remember correctly, but I don't totally, it's vague.
I got nothing.
Next question.
Yeah.
Wrestlers aren't just pigeonholed into doing wrestling now. So if you could do anything else, reality TV, music, writing a book, what else would you do and why?
You know what's interesting is we were talking about it yesterday, and that as wrestlers, we still kind of have that, we're just wrestlers, you know, and you meet other, you know, celebrities and things at this, and you kind of tend to self-deprecate. But I think that's changing, thankfully, and I think people are having more of an awareness of what it is that we actually do, and that you have to keep a lot of balls in the air in order to pull this off, and that's with what camera is hot. There's probably 8 cameras, you're live, you have a live microphone, and you have to do this off the cuff a lot of times. And I think people now are starting to understand that, and that in turn translates into being able to go down different avenues, as you see with, you know, Dwayne, as you see with Dave, and really starting to make strides and succeed in Hollywood. I think for me, that has been really enjoyable for me now that I can't wrestle anymore. The acting thing kind of fell into my lap, and I realized it's a great creative outlet that I won't say it totally took the place of wrestling for me, but since I couldn't do it, I needed something to fill that gap, and acting has been that, and it's been a lot of fun to do. Now I'm doing Vikings, and it's a period piece, and I have to do an accent, and it's challenging, and it's fun, and wrestling was amazing, spectacular training for that. It's entertainment boot camp. That's what we've called it,
Yeah.
I've got another job as well, which is I wring out sponges for a one-arm window cleaner that I know. And I'm quite fulfilled with that, to be honest with you.
But I'm going to toot his horn again now, because to a person on our show so far, everyone has said something, glowing about his lordship and how he's given back to the wrestling industry, whether it's, no, I'm serious, whether it's advice, is he making a face? Well, whether it's advice, whether it's, scouting and his work down in NXT, he's continuing to help the next generation of people that you're seeing, and is one of the foundations for that. And so... He's so embarrassed right now. It's so bad.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm going to say this too. But
I've spent 30 years trying to create this horrible reputation that I've got.
Yeah.
And people keep telling me things that don't listen to a word he's saying. I'm rotten to the core. Thank you.
So not true. One of my best friends in this industry that always stuck by my side. So.
You don't have high aspirations for friends, do you? Because he's your best friend.
Well, exactly.
It's not a lot to live up to.
Hey guys, has anyone ever called a spot in a match with you that wasn't sort of decided beforehand, and you've sort of just your reaction has been, I really don't want to do that, but I haven't really got a choice?
Well, you always have a choice.
Yeah, I mean, you can just hold, there is always a choice. But I do remember one time specifically, I was wrestling in Germany against Owen Hart in a tag match, and. So I grabbed him in a headlock. He said, grab a headlock. So I grabbed a headlock, and then he started going, I was like, what? He's like, what? And he throws me off the ropes and goes, just do it. So I threw him off the ropes, and I didn't know he was messing with me, just making it like he was gibberish. And I was like coming off the ropes like a deer in headlight. And then he just stopped me, did something else, and then he threw me off again and said, watch the Cobra Clutch. And he somehow got me in a Cobra Clutch. But yeah, those were, but it was mostly just like messing around on the fly. But I don't really remember anything as far as.
Yeah.
If you're not on the same page, you stop the person and get back on the same page, basically. But.
And then a guy like Owen would just
be ribbing.
A lot of fun out there and say some ridiculous stuff, and then it was almost a challenge to try and pull it off.
You're asking the wrong person, because I come from a time when that stuff, I don't. That's just not something I do, and I go out and I just have a feel for things, and I don't talk about things.
Oh, that's the reason when we were wrestling, I was just going, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, no, but it's just, I come from a different era where the thought of doing stuff like that is just beyond me. I don't need to, you know what I mean? It's just, that's why I probably didn't have the most exciting of things, but it was just the way I was taught. To just go out there and just get a feel for what was going on and read the audience and whatever else. So, no, and I don't listen to I wouldn't listen to anybody telling me anything anyway, to be honest with you.
We got to get a Dudley in here.
Hi, Christian. As far as I remember, you were intercontinental. Sorry, I'm down here. Short, fat guy, bald. Hi. Christian, you were the Intercontinental Champion in TNA for one night, if I'm right. How did it feel being a WWE wrestler in TNA?
It was a little weird. Yeah, I mean, it was what it was. I guess I should look at it like that. I guess it was part of the with Flair, the Four Horsemen going into the Hall of Fame, and I guess they were celebrating their 10th anniversary, so they did a little trade, and I guess I should kind of be honored that they thought enough of me to ask me to do it. So. I went, and I know there was some rumors out there that I was mad that I had to go and do it. I wasn't. I went and with every intention of doing a good job and doing justice for the platform they gave me for 3 years. So, it was a little strange. I'm not going to lie, but also it was kind of one of those weird things that you never see happen. So, it was.
Yeah, and that's strangely not really talked about much. That's a good question because that's very unheard of for anyone, let alone a champion in one company, to go and make an appearance in the other. So, I forgot about that.
Yeah. It was strange. I know there was a lot of dialogue back and forth about certain things, but it worked out for both sides. And it was, I think it was, I had fun the night that I went there. It was a little strange, but I got to see some friends I hadn't seen for a long time, so it was good.
Unfortunately, guys, we have run out of time. So we are going to have to end it there, I'm afraid. So show your appreciation once more for William Regal, Christian, and Edge.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everyone. Really appreciate it.
So that was our experience in London. Thanks to His Lordship, our very good friend William Regal, for jumping on stage and saving our attempt at being entertaining.
Yeah.
How about you singing? What is the name of the song again? I Want You Back
for Good.
Back for Good.
Yeah.
No idea what you were singing to me.
No, you could see it in your face. You were like, you wanted to sing along, and then you were just like,
so badly I wanted to sing,
and you were just looking at me like, and you were like, you were even kind of saying, I don't know this one. I don't know this one. But I did it because they're really big in the UK, and
are they still?
I figured that the cool thing about the fans in the UK, they love to chant and have some fun. So I figured that when I got to the old chorus there, they would sing along with me, and they did. So it was great.
Hey, you committed. I'll give you that because you went through like a full section before you hit the chorus.
I was in it to win it. So.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. Hey, enough of your singing. Guess what? This week, I got sent on Twitter a couple of these shots as the Canadian backbreaker, the Canadian Zamboni, Edge.
I know, and some people call it the Canadian backbreaker, so I guess you didn't pronunciate your words too well. Cause, it was the Canadian
backbreaker. Raker, not backbreaker. Backbreaker. Like I go,
it's pretty cool.
Ha! Like Hogan and Kamala used to do in their matches. Like, I'm going to rake your back.
Yeah. Canadian back-raker. Those were good picks.
So you got to see what the Canadian back-raker looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Yep. Good times.
Back-raker in all his
good
glory.
Times on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's a good thing about Twitter. Sometimes you can find things like that.
Sometimes. Sometimes people send you stuff.
Yeah.
That you would not have seen.
We also got something last week, the clip of Jay's debut with his hair.
Oh, we did.
Oh.
Nice. The big hair.
Captain Caveman.
Mm-hmm.
Screw Captain Charisma.
I think I'm going to grow my hair back like that again. Tease it up.
Trying that again?
Yeah. I think I'm going to go for it. I just decided it's going to happen.
Just now?
Yep.
There's no way. There's no way that you're going to get to the BG point again. You're going to be an orange BG.
No. This time next week, I'll have long, voluptuous, puffy hair.
And you have a horrible falsetto, so there's no way you can pull off any type of BG action. Yeah, I know you do. Try and hit a falsetto for me right now for the
hosers.
What
a falsetto is?
It's a high-pitched voice, high-pitched singing voice. Think.
I have a sore throat.
Here's someone you'll. It's like Adam Levine. Yeah, I know you'll understand that reference because if I say something else, you'd be like, "Who?"
No, so, I don't want to do it now because
why not? Too much pressure. Can't do it because you got a horrible falsetto.
I don't want to do it. So Let's, as they say in the business, let's take it home.
Really?
Yep.
That's it. You're calling it, huh?
I'm calling it. I'm calling the show. Where else?
Done. Pulling the plug.
Hosers. We'll see you next week.
They don't actually see us, Jay, because of the plug.
Okay, you'll listen to us next week.
There we go.
Here we go.